Hello everyone, I'm here for Tactica Imperialis. Welcome to today's video. Yes. Today is just going to be a casual sit and talk type of vlog. Don't ask why I've got darts in my hand. Just felt kind of like it. The whole idea of this video is just maximum chill. Just try and catch you up on what has been going on in the world. Okay, that'll do. So just catch you up and let you know what's going on in the hobby, like with the channel and everything, and then stuff to do with school or university as it is now and work and what's going on there, just so as you are all caught up. My original plan was to do this while I was painting, but I got distracted. I had work to do, which means that my painting got a bit further on. The model that I have been working on, Ghazghkull. That's a Ghazghkull, boys. Yes, we have a Ghazghkull. Yeah, I got this from my local gaming store because I'm back home in Yorkshire now for Easter. I can pull that too to help the lighting. I'm back home in Yorkshire now for Easter. So this has been on the shelf at our local gaming store since before Christmas. Like, before I went to uni even, I think this was on the shelf. And I said, no, I'm not buying it. I'm not doing it. And, well, Ghazghkull came out. And that has formations that use Ghazghkull. Primarily the Ghazghkull mob, if I'm honest. And so when I came back, I said, if you still got that Ghazghkull, and he said yes. And because it's secondhand, I got it on a knockdown price. I got it for about 35 quid. It was going to be 40, but the shop owner, he gave me a little bit of an extra discount, so I got it for 35 quid. It was pre-built and pre-sprayed, so I haven't been able to do it as well as normal. Like, for example, getting into all the fiddly details, like around the back of here, that's going to be a nightmare, and I've got hiccups. That's going to be fun. But yeah, it's looking good. Someone gave it a silver spray, which I really do actually appreciate because it's actually quite helpful. And yeah, I'm just working. I'm going to close those doors. I'm going to lock those doors closed when I'm done because they're doing my head in. I'm leaving them open just so I can get to all the details, kind of like, you know, in these sort of sections, just to make sure there's no silver showing when I actually do shut the doors. It's just to make sure I got all of these details right. But once it's done, I'm going to lock the doors and we're going to have a Ghazghkull good to go. I will put a link to the shop in the description as well. I'll put their Facebook page. They've asked us to do a little bit of stuff like so. When we play in battle reports, you'll be able to see where the game was filmed, or should normally be at the shop. So there'll be a link in the description if you want to go and check them out. I'm sure Carl would appreciate it. So yeah, that's been keeping me busy. But what else has been keeping me busy is work. I may be home for Easter, but I've already written a 2,000-word lab report in the time I've been home, and this is only like the 4th day of the holidays. Realistically, it's the 3rd day I'm home, and we didn't really do anything on the weekend because it was coming home. So yeah, it's been a bit mad, but I've been getting work done, and that's left me a bit of time to paint that. I'm going to try and put this in a position where you guys can just hang on. I'm going to knock this over. Can I put you there? It's fine. I'll just hold it. So yeah, I've been working with school stuff because it's the last part of the semester now at university. My exams will be in about 6 weeks from when you watch this video, maybe 5. I think it will be 5 weeks from when you watch the video, although it could be 6. And I've already done one exam. Actually did an exam the week before I came home for Easter in my French course. That went pretty well, I think. I'm averaging on or around a first for this first semester, and I'm waiting to get the stuff back for French to tell me what I'm exactly at, but I'm around 70% for the year, and I'm hoping that this semester's exams will get me to 75. That's the sort of unofficial target that I've set myself. Of course, a first is great, and I will always acknowledge that, but I always just want to push for more. So that's been keeping me pretty busy, revising for exams, doing this lab report, getting it started. I had to get a bunch of graphs done before I came home. Homework, as normal, has just been getting crazy difficult, so I've not been really on the video grind as much as I would like to be. Of course, the Ghazghkull review came out. I had the last episode of An Elfin Adventure came out. I know that series is over, and I'm kind of sad it's over, but I wouldn't be doing it for like 4 or 5 weeks anyway because I was going to be at home. Well, 3. So yeah, well, so I haven't been doing that much recording, but I'm hoping to get a bunch of stuff recorded while I'm here. So I'm hoping to get at least one AOS battle report, one or two 40k battle reports, a lore video, which is a viewer request from a long time ago that I'm finally going to get around to doing, and maybe I'll do a little bit of a proper showcase on the Ghazghkull, and I'm hoping to just use Ghazghkull as much as I can, because I have actually had a chance to use Ghazghkull now. I didn't get to bat rep it because I was doing a bit of proxy, and there was a 9th edition fantasy tournament. Yes, people have homebrewed 9th edition rules, and people are playing that at our gaming store as opposed to Age of Sigmar, or at least they were on this particular day. So there was a fantasy tournament going on, which was interesting. I've got to say, it was quite interesting. So I couldn't really bat rep that day, but it was 2,400-ish points. My Orcs versus a Necron army, a non-Decurion Necron, so it had a chance of being fair, but Necrons nonetheless. My army was pretty simple. I took a Ghazghkull mob, I took a Council of Waaagh, I took some Grots, and I took 2 tractor cannons with Amarants. That's all I could fit. The Council alone came to 888 points. Once I'd added in a Mega Force Field for my Big Mech, I'd given it a Power Claw. I gave a couple Power Claws to the knobs. It spiraled out of control really fast, and I do think the council is extremely expensive. I could have easily got to 1,000 points without trying. All I had to do is put the 3 characters of Mega Armor, and I'd have been at 1,000 points. For the Ghazghkull mob, I took 2 squads of 20 sluggers and 1 squad of 20 shooters. I took this guy, he was still in his full silver state. I just took him with some Grot Riggers. I took 2 Death Dreads, obviously, one with 4 Power Claws, one with a Scorcher, a Big Shooter, and 2 Power Claws. And then Killer Can squad, I had a Ghazghkull, a Rocket Launcher, and a Custom Mega Blaster. The War Boss had a chopper of the Ragnarok and heavy armor. And the 5 knobs, I had a big chopper, Power Claw, maybe 2, and they were in heavy armor as well. They were riding in the Ghazghkull just for some protection, really, because he was rocking a Doomsday Ark, Annihilation Barge, he had a Night Scythe in reserve, he had a ton of warriors, like 30 of them, 20 and then 10 in a Ghost Ark, 10 Immortals with Tesla, led by Nemesis Zandrak, 5 War Scythe Lichguard, led by a Lord with a War Scythe, and 5 Triumph Praetorians. So I was kind of worried. I knew my council could take it because Ghazghkull's 2-up invuln, but I wasn't so sure about everybody else. So that's that. And we played Big Guns Never Tire, which worked for and against me. Primarily against me because I had the most heavy supports. I thought it worked that heavy supports like gained objective secured or something like that, but that was 6th edition, not 7th, which is annoying. Shame. So it was potentially a risk for me, although he was still rocking 4 heavies of his own, 3 heavies, I think. His Annihilation Barge, his Doomsday Ark, and he had a Cannot Take Harvest formation as well, and the Tan Shard of the Nightbringer. I forgot about that as well, of all the things. So he had a few things that in his heavies. I had 1 more than he did because I was running detachment, but it would be interesting to see how the game went. Now, I went first. I lost the roll-off to go first, but he let me deploy first, which was really difficult because 60 dudes takes up a lot of space. Add in some big walkers to that, and you are really fighting for room on the board, I gotta say. That was also part of the reason why the Ragnarok War Boss went the Ghazghkull was saving space. Now, I learned something pretty valuable. If you're fighting Ghazghkull, go first, every time. For the simple reason of, against a council, against an army led by a council, Ghazghkull's 2-up invuln hasn't activated yet, and neither has the army-wide Fearless. You still have the bosses watching, which is going to mean that big squads still don't run away, but you could kill more of them. And the army-wide Fearless for the small squads hasn't activated yet. So it is quite punishing to them, so I would definitely consider that. If you're fighting against a Ghazghkull army led by Ghazghkull, go first. Every time. Understand? Good. We're on the same page. Right. So I went first. I didn't do that much on turn 1. My Deathstorm Mega Shooter and then the rest of the Ghazghkull's fire, because it does pack a lot of guns. Apparently you can only fire 2 of them regularly and the rest have to snap fire, but I managed to kill 3 Immortals. He rolled really badly for his saves. Killed the Necron Warrior, which was immediately healed by the Ghost Start the next turn. And that was about it. The objectives were kind of nicely placed. I had my Grots camping on one. I had one my Killer Cans could easily get to. I had one that I had 2 blocks of boys that could easily get to, and a Death Dread. And then the other one was in his back corner, of course. On his first turn, he threw his Wraiths into one of my squads of Slugger Boys. Took him ages to get rid of them. I mean, it was his turn 3, I think, by the time he finally killed the last one. He shot a bunch of boys to death from that squad as well. He killed a bunch on the left on my other side because they were out of range of the Mega Force Field. He killed one War Boss from the Council because I couldn't pass my Feel No Pains on the Mega Force Field save. Mercifully, though, his Doomsday Arc scattered off. It immobilized my 4-power Claw Death Dread, much to my annoyance, but I fixed that with my big mech the next round. But it missed the Council critically, and Ghazghkull also took a wound. I failed a 2-up and the Feel No Pain, which is annoying, but Ghazghkull was there to tank anyway. On my turn 2, things got messy. I charged my Council into his Immortals, led by Zandrek, and his Catan Shard at the same time. I also fixed the immobilized Death Dread with Orchimedes, who was my big mech, before charging. I charged my other block of Slugger Boys into his block of Necron Warriors, which didn't go all that well. And I sort of maneuvered around a bit more. My Scorcher Death Dread charged his Scarabs after flaming a bunch of them to death. He then charged them. It took him a couple of rounds to get rid of them. And that was about it. I just was starting plinking off Necron Warriors. I think I killed 3 or 4 this round, but no, I killed 5 in the combat, and I killed 2 or 3 at range, I think, with the Killer Cans. And then the Council's charge was devastating. I killed all but 1 Immortal, who then ran, and Zandrek, with my characters. Grotsnick was on form, my War Boss remaining was on form. Ghazghkull had the challenge. Was challenged and was taken by the Catan, and that just turned into a slug match. Ghazghkull wasn't taking any damage because of his 2-up invul, but the Catan wasn't taking damage because it was not taking that much any hits because I couldn't roll to hit very well, despite having the Mastercrafted Warlord trait given to me by the Council. I also had Super Shooters, which was kind of meh. So I could blink like 1 or 2 wounds off, but it had basically Psychic Shriek that healed itself because it was a Nightbringer. So it was killing boys and just healing itself a wound every single round, which was pretty irritating. So, yeah, it took a while to get through that Catan. But I killed all the Immortals, made the last one run, and killed Zandrek at the same time, securing myself Slay the Warlord and also First Blood. I didn't quite kill all the Scarabs off. I was still stuck fighting those Wraiths. I didn't really care. As long as my boys were fearless, which they were, as long as Ghazghkull was alive, they weren't going to run away. So they were just going to tar pit for a while, even if I think they scored 1 wound over the whole combat. On his turn 2, he failed to get his Night Scythe in, which is unfortunate. He would have had Zandrek alive to change his Warlord trait to get it in on a 2-up, but he rolled a 2 and he didn't have Zandrek anymore. And then one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen happened. He charged his Triumph Praetorians and his Lich Guard into the Council. He killed I think he killed all the Knobs, but was then wiped in return. The War Boss, who was left alive from the Council, went through both of the remaining Lich Guard and instant killed the Lord and killed the Triumph Praetorian in his attacks. He was just obscenely powerful. Grotsnick was amazing. He just kept making those 5+ Feel No Pains for me, which really kept the Council alive. It didn't keep the Knobs alive, but it did a really good job of keeping the whole Council alive as a whole. I mean, the amount of saves I must have made with his 5+ Feel No Pain was obscene. I put 1 wound off the Catan, taking it down to 1, but he had healed, so it was actually down to 2. And yeah, there was 1 Praetorian left at the end of the melee who couldn't run. I think they are fearless as well, but I had all of my characters free to just stomp some face. Grotsnick had taken a wound as well because he was closest to the Praetorians and I didn't look out Sir, or I couldn't look out Sir by that point because the other dudes were dead. He charged his Canoptech Spider into the Death Dread that had charged the Scarabs. I ignored the Scarabs for this round and killed the Spider. He couldn't make any of his saves because he'd given himself reanimation protocols, which didn't help him. He still died. And yeah, that was absolutely great for me. His warriors were just working his way through my boys because they fight better than Orcs, Necron warriors, because they're weapon skill 4, strength 4, toughness 4 with 1 attack, which is not great. I mean, I had a bunch more attacks than he did, but I was then striking at strength 3, so I was only killing 1 or 2, and he was killing a butt ton more. But it was my turn next, so I could quite easily get the killer cans in to help out. He brought his Tomb Blades up as well. He killed a bunch of shooter boys with those. But again, I wasn't majorly concerned. I had Fearless. And it was really refreshing knowing I didn't have to take morale checks anymore, I have to say. So after that, my turn, I kill his Tomb Blades with my Power Claw Death Dread. I kill the remaining Scarabs with my other Death Dread. The Ghazghkull charges across and kills... I think it did something. I'm sure it did something. I think it charged the Tomb Blades and then got a big consolidate. It sort of went in with the other Death Dread. I disembarked the Ragnarok War Boss at that point as well. I thought he could charge out of it because it hadn't moved. I was wrong. I was told I was wrong, so that's me not learning the rules of 7th edition, despite the fact it's been out for like 2 years. Fail. And my council killed the remaining Praetorian, and the dudes just mobbed up on the Catan, killing him. Taking Grotznik down to 1 wound, putting a wound on someone? No, nobody else took a wound from the explosion because he was wounding on 5s at that point because the majority of times it was 5. So I got away with it. I think he killed like 2 of my boys and 2 of his warriors with the explosion as well, which was kind of sad. I got my killer cans to charge. No, they didn't. They failed their charge actually into the warriors that the boys were fighting, which was really unfortunate. But that was all right. I was in a pretty good position. His Night Scythe failed to come on again. His Wraith killed the last of my boys. On the right-hand flank, I got my shooter boys out of the way and onto an objective after the Tomb Blades were massacred by the Walkers. He killed 1 killer can with his ranged attacks from his guys inside the Ghost Ark and the Ghost Ark itself. His Doomsday Ark, I think it missed again, you know. I don't think it did that much. It was really bad, the Doomsday Ark in that game. I think maybe it got a weapon destroyed or it did something to the Ghazghkull. I can't remember. He did plink 1 whole point off the Ghazghkull though in that round. And yeah, he was really wrecked at this point. He tried to mow down my vehicles and really struggled. And then on my turn 4, my Ghazghkull charges Annihilation Barge. My Ragnarok War Boss charged the Wraith with his knobs. The Power Claw Dread went forward. It was unable to charge anything. The other Dread came round to try and head for his home objective. The Council charged the Doomsday Ark and blew it up. The Killer Cans charged the Ghost Ark and wrecked it, but didn't blow it up. The passengers then were out on the other side. I killed, I think, 2 Wraiths, because they're toughness 5 now, Wraiths, which is why I was really struggling to kill them. So I killed 1, I think I put another 2 wounds on as well, killing another 1. And I lost a bit in return because I had heavy armor, so I was tanking a lot better than the boys were. And on his turn 4, his Night Scythe came on, shot the Ghazghkull in the back, taking it down to 1 HP, but it had Grot Riggers, so I wasn't too concerned. He killed my ranged Death Dread with Gauss Fire, which was kind of disappointing, with the squad that are now, and now killed the boys, and I think he killed another killer can, or maybe took a whole point off a killer can because I had cover saves because he didn't put them in front of the Ghost Ark, he put them behind to make it harder for me to get to him. Overall, at that point, we had to call for time anyway because I had to go, but I had won quite convincingly. Victory for the Orcs. So yeah, I learned a lot from that game. 1, the Council is obscene to kill. Ghazghkull's 2 pin bomb combined with Grotznik and a Mega Force Field makes them insanely sticky. Grotznik, I need to now actually get a Grotznik model because I was proxying. He's awesome. Ghazghkull was pretty good. I underrated it before. I thought it was kind of bad because the Death Storm Mega Shooter was kind of inaccurate, but it's pretty resilient. It's got even give Grot Riggers, and the Death Storm Mega Shooter is not that bad, even against a Marine equivalent type of save army. The other thing I learned is that the Goth Kill Mob is only good because of the amount of walkers you get. The boys in there are just there to tank for you, and they're just chaff to protect your walkers. That's about it. I also learned that even Orcs can beat Necrons on a good day, which is kind of nice. I didn't kind of expect to win that game, particularly when I saw all those big guns on the board, but I did. Wasted 60 points on my Tractor Cannons though. I'd have been better with Custom Mega Cannons because his fire didn't turn up until turn 4 and then we had to go. So yeah, good game. Good learning experience, and for once, brand new shiny model didn't fail and die immediately. Good call, Knut. Okay, so that's that. So Ghazghkull has got its first win under my command. I'm going to be playing against Kieran's Tyranids in a couple of days, at least the time of I'm recording this video. So hopefully I'll battle report that, because he's now got Tyranids. He's got rid of his Tau now. Sorry, Tau players, but they're gone. He's got a bunch of Tyranids now. We're going to play, I think, a 1k game. I'm going to just basically bring a Goth kill mob, and that's it, and see what happens. So I checked it was alright with him first, but yeah, I'm going to just put all my walkers on the table and then throw 60 boys at him and see what sticks. He has got a flyer and he has got a Carnifex. It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how the game goes, because I do find monsters is still a weakness for the orcs. Right, is there anything else that we need to talk about or that we want to talk about? Yeah, I think we should probably talk about subs. I know I probably should have done it at the start of the video, but I forgot. We are at, let me get an accurate figure for you. I know we've passed one milestone, but we're past 800 subscribers now. We are at 821. That's really sweet, because like 800 subscribers is great. We're nearly 1,000 now, and I have to thank everyone again for your support, your comments. It actually really, the comments that I've got recently have been really kind, really helpful, particularly on the lore videos. Like, you guys have been asking hard for lore videos. Now people are saying, we want more. All right, you're getting it. All right, I'm doing a lore video. Chill your beans. Yeah, the comments I've been getting have been really good recently, and I really do appreciate your support. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, I have a plan. I mentioned this in the Ghazghkull review, but here's the plan. Live stream. What I'm thinking is I'm going to get me, Kieran, Ben, maybe a couple of others from my home group, my group here, and then get a couple of YouTubers on, like Warwick, Morehammer, Yellow Sigmarine, and we just have a massive live stream for like 2 or 3 hours. I'll publicize it like a week in advance once I've confirmed everything. So we get 1,000 subscribers. I say I'm planning to do this. I'll then get my friends together and say, when can we do it? We'll organize it, and then I'll put a video out saying, at this time on this date, we are going to be going live. If you've got anything, if you want to talk to us and we want to watch, we'll be doing it. And then I'll upload the VOD if I can to the channel, because I really want to try live streaming. Like, you've probably noticed, I really love just this sit and talk type of format. And to do it live with you guys would be absolutely great, because it's a great way to interact with you lot, which I just really want to do, because sometimes people have questions and then there's no Q&A for them to ask. Maybe they just get a spur of the moment idea and they want to run it by us. I really want to do that. Plus, it would be great just for the people at home, as in my people at home, to meet my online friends and just bring them together. I might even get my uni friends to come round if we could just have a massive live stream. So if I'm at uni, I get my uni lot sat with me. I've got Kieran, Ben, James on one end of a Skype call, and I've got Warwick, Morehammer, and Alex on the other end of a Skype call, and we're just like, hey everybody, let's have a live stream. I really want to try that. So let me know what you think of that idea. And if you can think of anyone you want to get on the show, or if you want to be on a show, actually, do feel free to let me know in the comments, or send me a message directly. The social media links that we want in the description for Facebook, for Twitter. If you want to get on and you have a video topic you want to discuss, then do let me know. I'm always welcome to having people on the show. Anyway, plugs out of the way. Yeah, 1k subs is coming. I'm hyped. And if we can make a live stream work, I'm gonna love it, and hopefully you guys will as well. Okay, think. I should probably say that battle reports that we do while I'm home, they're going to be pretty heavy on the proxy, okay? You've been warned. Simple reason, I left my case at university. I did a stupid. I packed all my stuff up to come home. I packed all my paints, all my vehicles, all into boxes, got it in my bag, and I'm like, here we go, we're going home. And then I get home, and I'm getting my list together for the shop on Sunday, and I'm like, hang on, where are my boys? And then it dawned on me. Being a neat freak, I kind of packed all my boys into my case, I've got a GW carry case just to save space in that box, because that's where a lot of my vehicles go, and I didn't bring the case home. I'm sorry. I screwed up. I screwed up. So I've got 90 boys sat back in Manchester, and I'm like, why? I also left my Sisters of Avalon behind, which means that when I fight Kieran in Age of Sigmar with his Chaos Army, I'm going to be missing my 2s to wound. I'm sad. Alright, I'm sad. So yeah, I'm done. And that means that I've only got 30 odd boys, plus the Goth boys as well from 2nd edition, which means that there's going to be some pretty heavy proxy. I'm afraid if I have shooter boys, I would probably borrow them from my High and Dark Elves, just because I don't have my shooter boys with me. I do have enough to make a squad of 20, but I left them all at uni. The other question I'm going to have is how the hell I'm going to get this thing back to uni, because my boxes are full to the brim at the minute. So what I think I'm going to do is when I go back to uni for the last 6 weeks, I'm just going to play 40k. With Ghazghkull out, I think I'm just going to give the orcs as much love as I can. So I'm going to leave all my high and dark elves behind, except maybe a couple of choice models like my cauldron, which I can just leave sat on display, and then get my orcs all packed up into the boxes vacated by the elves, so as I have enough space to get all my orcs back to uni, and then bring them back again because I'll have some box space. Yeah, it's gonna be fun because this thing's big. All right, this thing is big. I've got a big head. All right, this thing's quite large. I mean, what is it? 4 or 5 inches high? Gotta be 4 or 5 inches, 6 maybe. It's not short, this thing. So getting this around is going to be fun, but hopefully I'll have that issue resolved. Just a proxy warning. I know other people say I like full painted armies and full detailed terrain, and like, yes, I do too, but I left my stuff at uni, so I'm sorry about that. My bad. In terms of upcoming content, I've mentioned that there'll be a battle report. I've mentioned there's a lore video coming. I'll spoil it now. It's Xenos. I won't say any more than that. It is a Xenos lore video. And I'm trying to think about what I can do for top 5s as well, because I haven't done a top 5 in a while. I have a top 5 that I kind of want to upload, but I've got 2 that I want to make. But I don't know. I feel like there's stuff that I want to do, but I don't know if I could do it right, and I'd need to really swat up. But we'll see. If you have any video suggestions, as ever, comments are open for you to leave them there. I think I'm going to be leaving Age of Sigmar just for this semester. As I said, I'm going to be taking my orcs back to uni, but not my elves. And that means I won't be doing any Age of Sigmar stuff. So Elven Adventure is done. Season 1 is over. I might do a showcase video when Big Red here is done. I've stolen that name. I've definitely stolen that name. I'll come up with a cooler one. Other than the Pregnant Stomper or the Pregnant Death Dread, as I think people will christen it, because the thing is quite large. sorry, that was out of line. Anyway, so I'll work it out and I'll get some content to you. I can't promise that it'll be as regular, like 3 videos a week, as I was getting out for the last few weeks, just because it's coming up to exams now, so the pressure's ramping up. In terms of workload and revision to do. So while I'm aiming to play 1 game a week, and I might do a post-game report on all of those, I can't guarantee I'll be getting out the 3 videos a week. It depends on Ben and Kieran as well. But if the content drops off over the next 8 weeks, then you know why. It's because it's exams. And I think I've covered everything. Have I covered everything? You see, this is the point where on a live stream I just go to the chat and say, have you got anything you want to talk about? Because I've pretty much covered everything. So, say what? Oh, he's on the phone. He's on the phone. My brother's on the phone. My bad. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap the video up here. I do hope you haven't fallen asleep while I've been doing it, because it's something I really enjoy, just having these sit and talks with you guys, but I know they're really quite long and ramble-ish. So I know not everybody follows them, but if you've kept up and you've got anything you want to add to it, then do feel free to let me know in the comments below. And of course, your suggestions are always welcome. And if you haven't done so, please make sure to subscribe. It would be really appreciated. We're well on that road to 1K subs now, and your support is, as always, appreciated. Right, thank you very much for watching. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis, and until the next time, I'll see you all again. Bye for now.